Hi everybody, it's Jess here and I'm here to talk to you all about expat living in Hong Kong. So back in November, I did a 0+3 Hong Kong entry scheme process. Once it ended on December 14th, I got a lot of comments asking me if I could do an updated one of the process. I did promise that I would do one once I returned home back to Hong Kong, but then I realized the process is so easy. It didn't seem worthwhile to make a new one. However, some people still had some questions and were confused by the RAT, the rapid antigen testing. So I'll just briefly answer your questions in this video, as well as let you know some tips during your stay here in Hong Kong. So first of all, there are no quarantine requirements upon your entry into Hong Kong, and you now do not need to be vaccinated to enter Hong Kong. The only thing you would need is a RAT test prior to boarding your flight to Hong Kong. Now this is what is confusing a lot of people, so I'm gonna try my best to answer the questions here. Now please take everything that I say with a grain of salt, and please refer to the government website for the most up-to-date guidelines and processes. So 1, you must take a RAT test 24 hours prior to boarding your flight to Hong Kong. It can be self-administered and it can be any brand. Now if you have a connecting flight, the check-in person on your first flight will ask to see your RAT test. You will not need to show it again as long as you don't have to check in again, because no one else will ask to see it after your first check-in. However, especially if your layover and your total flight time is more than 24 hours, I do recommend keeping a spare RAT test just in case you're asked to take one prior to boarding. So when you do your RAT test, take a picture of it, put your name that's on your passport, and then put your date and time. I put the time zone because you're traveling different time zones. Take a picture of it because the person who checks you in your first flight might ask to see it, and I would just keep the actual test with you just in case they ask. They probably won't, but just in case. And that's it. That's all you need to enter Hong Kong. The check-in person in your first country might get a little confused because they might look at the guidelines for Hong Kong. They might get a little flustered. They'll probably call over their supervisor over and they'll probably discuss it, and they'll be like, oh, maybe you need the RAT test to be professionally administered. But no, don't worry. Everyone's very flustered about Hong Kong's guidelines. You do not need to have it professionally administered. Anyways, you will arrive at the Hong Kong airport and you will just exit the airport as usual. And no one at the Hong Kong airport will ask to see your RAT test. Now, although there are no other COVID restrictions, you do have to wear a mask in Hong Kong and when you are on your flight en route to Hong Kong. The airline will remind you that you have to wear the mask on the flight and when you arrive at the Hong Kong International Airport. Masks are required by law to be worn in both indoors and outdoors, and you can essentially be fined by the police for not wearing a mask. The exception of taking off your mask in public is when you're eating, drinking, or exercising, maybe at wedding banquets, along with the ever-changing rules. So Hong Kong is quite humid, and even now it's winter time, but it's starting to get quite humid. If you're staying in Hong Kong a bit, I do suggest that you buy some comfortable masks to wear in Hong Kong. It's quite stuffy, especially if you're walking around outside. I feel like I'm inhaling my mask all the time. So I'd suggest buying these T8 masks. This is what Hong Kongers wear for those who are fed up with the mask policy, because if you take a look at this is an exercise mask. It's really see-through. It doesn't really protect you from anything. It's pretty much like a dummy mask. It's for show, so you don't get fined in public. So it's really quite comfortable. It's kind of like a tent for your mouth, like this. The fabric is nice. You can just wash it, so it's also very eco-friendly, and they are a lifesaver, especially if you are touring Hong Kong all day out in the outdoors and your face is sweating and it's really stuffy. You can actually buy these online. I'll link the link in the description box below, and I think they do ship overseas. They come in packs of 2. It's super stylish and it looks nice. If you are looking to wear an actual mask that protects you from germs and COVID, I recommend these MaskX masks. These masks, you can get them in TST. There are retail branches everywhere. I like them because not only only do they come in pretty colors like pink, no, black because you want to cool and have like a slim face or whatever, white because, you know, in the summer it's really hot. But I like them because of the design. They're super breathable. It's what I usually wear in my videos. I like the design because, you know, it's like this. It's like the T8 mask, but it's this is medical grade. I think when you put it on, you can finish the top of the nose. It's better than like the surgical masks, and the airflow flows in here, and then yeah, and then when you breathe out, it like comes out this way. You know when it's like really hot and you're sweaty and your like mask sticks to your face and it's just so uncomfortable? This one does not stick to your face. It's very roomy. The only thing is that like if you talk a lot, the mask kind of like falls down on your face and you have to like, so you always see me like pull my mask back up. I love these masks. I highly recommend these. I think you can buy them individually, and you can also buy them in a box of 30 for about 150 Hong Kong dollars. Now, maybe by the time you are watching this video, there's already no mask mandate because the government is already thinking about removing this mandate around March or April. So yeah, hopefully that is very soon, because Hong Kong is one of the last places in the world that still has this mask requirement. Even mainland China does not have a mask requirement for outdoors. That's it for my video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and click subscribe for more on expat living in Hong Kong. Oh, by the way, this will probably be my last video in this flat. So my landlord has actually sold this flat, and I was scrambling for the last few weeks and looking for a new apartment. I love this area, so I am staying here. I will be moving into a 1-bedroom. I will miss this beautiful ocean view, but in place I have more space. I will have an actual bedroom. I really look forward to moving there and showing you guys a tour of my new flat, which is not going to be a nano flat, although it is just under 400 square feet. All right, bye guys.